Hello, welcome, you guys. Welcome back. I think I'm gonna call this like should we call it like the six figure show for women of color, six figure women of color show? Call it. Anyway, welcome back. Hi, if you're new to my network, if you're new to me, hey, I am Latrice Huff, career and leadership coach to ambitious women of color. And it is my mission and my movement to put more women of color in leadership roles and positions of power. And I help you all do that by first helping you land a six figure role. Yes. So, this topic comes up a lot. I recently opened enrollment for my Fearless Branding Formula program. And that program helps women of color master their personal brand so they can land a six figure promotion whoop, whoop, and increase their salaries by $20,000 to $50,000. Yes. Okay. Regardless of the job market. Here's the thing. I've been having these conversations with amazing women, and the topic of family always comes up. And it's almost like a family versus career, right? Instead of like, you can balance family and career. And I hate the word balance. I love career integration. You'll hear me say that a lot, like career life integration. And I believe in integration. I have used it in my career and now in my business. I've helped countless women of color integrate like their career, life, and family. Okay. And so the number one thing that I say you need to have is a perspective shift. You need to know that it is possible. You don't need to work like anyone else, right? You don't need to work yourself to the ground. You don't need to sacrifice your family for the dollar. You don't need to burn out in a career. You don't need to do that. Like you can make six figures and have time for your family and self-care, right? But you have to know that it's possible first. Like that's the first thing. If you go into this like, oh, I can't work any more hours. This just isn't possible, right? I can't make any more money because I can't work any hours. I'm already burned out. Then it's not going to be possible for you. That brings me to my second one. My second tip. I'm just getting right into this, y'all. You have to disconnect the concept of time and money. You have to disconnect the thought, the concept that for every dime I make or earn, I have to work for it. When you hear people say like, "Oh, well, they pay you to work 40 hours a week." No, that company is paying you to solve a problem. They're paying you to get the job done. They're paying you for results. They're paying you for impact, right? Not to work every single hour, because most of the time, by the time you're making six figures, you're not an hourly worker. That's unless you're in healthcare or something like that. But typically, you're not going to be an hourly worker. They are paying you for results and impact, right? And this is why I talk so much about personal branding, because when you brand yourself as an expert, when you brand yourself as a leader and someone who has influence and impact, you're getting paid for your expertise, not your hours. Let me know if this makes sense. Because these are the concepts. I'm going to check my comments really quickly too, because sometimes I can't see them on the screen. These are the concepts that you need to know and that you have to like apply when it's like, how do I balance? And really, I'm going to say integrate family and career, especially as a woman of color. Especially because we have so many demands on us. And in our culture is almost taught, like, at least for me, that like you have to do everything, be everything, do everything. That's not to mention helping extended family and like any other like obligations you have to your community, to your church, to your organization, right? All of those things. And so to do this, right? And your career is important, but family and your personal life is important too. You have to disconnect the concept of time and money, okay? You have to know that you can make money outside of giving every day, like working every hour for that dollar, okay? And for any of you all who want to start your business, if you want to start a business or if you already run a business, this is an important concept. You have to disconnect the concept of time and money. This is how you're going to be making money in your sleep. This is how you're really going to get that financial freedom and personal freedom that you want when you have a business. Okay. All right. I just wanted to get that out because I've been talking about this a lot. Let me know if you all want me to go more into this. I had a client and she was like, Latrice, before I leave you, if I do nothing else, I'm going to disconnect the concept of time and money. I was like, yes, like that's how you get your freedom back. That's how you get your freedom back. That's how you get your time back. Okay. And so if y'all are interested, let me know. You want me to do just you want me to do like a whole thing or just a session on how I've done that and how I've managed to work less. And I will be doubling my income this year by working less. I can tell you all examples of how I did this when I was working full time as well. And I've always had some sort of business. I used to work full time. I had a side business, yes, and I was a single mom of 2 kids. So I really had to disconnect the concept of time and money. And I had to figure out how can I make more money without giving more time. All right. So just know that it is possible, but these are the things you have to do. And it starts with a shift in perspective. All right. If you all are loving this and you're like, yes, Latrice, but how can I do this? Like, if you're like, my company doesn't allow for this, or I need a new job, I'm actually doing a pop up workshop on Wednesday. I'm doing a pop up workshop on how to ace the 6 figure interview. And in that, I'm going to be talking about how to research companies to make sure that they do value family time, that they do value your freedom, and that they offer you flexibility that you want. Because it's a concept I see. This is I don't want to say fairly new, but where companies are doing unlimited PTO. And there are two type of companies who do this. They're the type of companies that have unlimited PTO, but you dare not take it. It's just deploy. Like they have unlimited PTO, but people stressed out working there. And then there are companies who offer unlimited PTO and they actually encourage their employees to use it. Their employees are happy, healthy, mentally healthy. They take breaks and have time for their family. And people love these type of companies. They can't get rid of their employees even if they wanted to, right? So this is where like researching companies even before you interview comes into play. So if you're interested in that pop-up workshop, go ahead and put branding. Y'all know I love that word. You know what? Put interview. Put interview in the comments. And I'm going to see if I can do this. Put interview in the comments and I'll send you all the link for that free workshop that we're going to be doing on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put this out. I'm going to see if you all can see this. Can you see it? Okay. Interview. Yeah. Put interview in the comments and I'll send you the either me or my team member. We're going to send you the link to the workshop so you can get access to the pop-up workshop on Wednesday. I haven't even advertised this, y'all. I haven't even told anybody, but I was like, there are so many things that are coming up where people either aren't getting interviews or getting interviews and then aren't getting the offer, that I was like, I want to do this pop-up workshop. But when you're interviewing with the company, it is not just I need to know about, I need to share with them how I'm the best candidate. And it's not just pick me, pick me, pick me. You need to research them and make sure that that company is going to offer you what you need. Are they going to offer you the right salary? Do they offer some sort of PTO, PAL, vacation time? Do they value like family or just your own personal freedom time and mental well-being? Because I've seen when companies don't value that, people get into these toxic environments and it is detrimental to their health. It is detrimental to their family. It is detrimental even to your career. You think staying in a toxic situation is good for your career? It's not. Right. So if you're interested in that pop-up workshop, just go ahead and put interview in the comments, or you can even DM me and I'll send you that link as well. Okay. Let me go back. And as you all are coming in, let me know where you're joining from. Give me a hey, give me a hi. If you have any questions about this topic, about how to balance family and career, especially as a woman of color, go ahead and put them in the comments. All right. So here's my next tip. I really wanted to share with you all what I call my career life integration model. This is something I do with all of my clients. My Fearless Branding Formula program, it just started and I just had everyone go through this. And what we do is we kind of put your name in the middle, or what, like Latrice's lovely life, right? And you put everything that you want in your life. Do you want a housekeeper? Do you want a $400,000 house? Do you want to work remotely? Like all the things that you want. How many times do you want to go on vacation a year? How much time? Like, do you want to do a family vacation twice a year? Do you want to be able to donate to church? A lot of women that I work with said they want to like donate more to like some sort of nonprofit or their church or another social organization that they're into. They want to volunteer more, like all these other things that you want to do. And the career life integration model, as we write this out, just shows you how your career is just a slice of your life, right? And in the old way, right? I used to tell people, I've been preaching this since before 2020, but once 2020 hit, people really understood that like your career used to be the center of your world, where you lived at, when you went on vacation, when you hung out with your friends, when you did happy hour, how much money you make. Everything was centered around your job. That's not the case anymore. Now your life, like you are in the center, you have your life, and your career is just a slice, and it should integrate into your life, into the life that you want and that you desire, right? And this is something that you can design on purpose. And so we call it the career life integration model, and we have them do that, and then we reverse engineer. If this is what you want in your life, okay, it looks like you're going to need a remote role. How can we help you land a remote role? You want a $300,000 to $400,000 house? It looks like you're going to need a six-figure salary. You need to make 120, like 120 to 150 to qualify for this mortgage. Okay, now we know what type of roles you need to go after, right? So it's an integration. Let me know if you all make if this makes sense. I can do a whole diagram. Y'all know I love my whiteboard. I do a whole diagram. We show it is amazing, but you need to have career life integration. And I'll show you, and I'll tell you all another example of how I do this. So one of the things I do is I take my son's school schedule. He's about to start school, and they give you the schedule at the beginning of the year. And I actually put his entire schedule in my calendar. I know when he starts schools, they have like half a days on particular days. So I put that in there. Like, okay, my son's gonna have a half a day on this day. If they know they're going on any trips, any like PTO meetings or volunteer meetings, I put all of those things in my calendar, and then I get to decide, okay, do I want to pick him up early, or do I want to have somebody else pick him up? A lot of times I do, right? This is how you can integrate it. When I was working full time and my oldest daughter, I had lived in one state, I lived in Pennsylvania, worked in Maryland, and I kind of lived close to the border. And my daughter decided she wanted to go to this computer science summer camp that was further in Pennsylvania, the opposite direction of where I worked. And she needed me to drive her there every day. And I remember going to my company and being like, I need to do this. And they were like, we don't know. We need you here. I was like, look, I will make up the time. And I literally like rewrote my schedule and was like, I'll come in this time, I'll leave at this time. Here you go. And I remember they were like, well, what about your lunch break? I was like, okay, I'll do a lunch break whenever. But that was the integration. And then I was able to take my daughter to school and take her to this computer science summer camp, go to work. We wound up working out like what do you call it? Like a carpooling schedule. But I was able to go to work and integrate that into my career, right? And you fast forward, my daughter got a full scholarship to college and majored in computer science. Okay. So the integration works. I didn't have to sacrifice taking my daughter and my daughter going to the summer camp that really changed the trajectory of her life and saved me so much money in college because she got a scholarship. And I didn't have to sacrifice my career either. Right. So, this is what I mean by integration. I wanted to give you all practical examples. And I'm just saying, family, and this could be your personal freedom. This could be vacation time. This could be maybe you have to take care of a family member or a parent. I had that situation as well. That's why this concept of integration is so important, where I'm going to just say, I feel like we're taught sacrifice versus integration, right? We want to integrate our family and our freedom with our career and our life versus sacrificing one for the other. We don't need to sacrifice, okay? All right. And then thank you. I see you all are coming in. Y'all give me a hey hi. Let me know where you're joining from. You know, if y'all can't hear when I get excited, my Baltimore exit come in. I'm originally from Baltimore, currently in Texas. Let me know where you all are watching from and just give me a hey hi. Let me know. And also, if you are just joining, if I am doing a pop-up workshop on how to ace the six-figure interview on Wednesday, in that workshop, I'm going to be talking about how to research companies even before the interview, so you know, are they a family-friendly company? What kind of PTO and how do they offer? So you can know the culture of the company before you interview and what questions to ask during the interview, so you know that this type of company aligns with your values, right? And helps you get that career life balance that we all want, and they're not trying to pull an okey doke, which I have seen people do before, right? So if you're interested in that free pop-up workshop that I'm doing on Wednesday, put interview in the comments, or you can DM me interview and we'll send you that link. Okay. All right. So here's my this is my final tip. You have to prioritize self-care. Self-care. And I know this is called How to Balance Family and Career as a Woman of Color. But again, when we talk about this, the term sacrifice always comes up. Well, everything else is a priority. I need to make my family a priority. Yes. My career is a priority. Yes. That doesn't mean that you sacrifice yourself and your self-care. And I always been tell people this recently, this conversation with my therapist about this, and I was saying something about making myself a priority, and she said, Latrice, there's no line. And it just hit me. She was like, everyone can be happy. Like, even when you have dueling priorities, right? You know how to prioritize things, right? Maybe, like I said, I knew I had to get my daughter to school, but I also did take that lunch break. And I'm glad my bosses said something, because I was willing to sacrifice my lunch break. And they were like, no, you should take a break. And I did. And it was such a great thing. Like, you don't have to sacrifice yourself or self care to integrate your family and career. Like, you don't need to do that. Okay. And what this can look like for you, especially, and I am not an organized person, but I prioritize, right? And I make sure that self-care is a part of my integration, right? You can schedule things around, you can schedule a massage on your lunch break. You can schedule time off where the kids are in school or your family is doing something else and you just home chilling and relaxing. Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? You can prioritize, like, you know what, I'm gonna come in, I'm gonna have to call tell them I'm gonna be a little bit late today because I'm gonna get my hair and my nails done, just to make you feel good, right? You can integrate it, but you want to make sure that you take care of yourself. I'll say this really quickly. I don't know if you all have heard. It's this clip on Instagram. I want to say it's like a podcast interview or YouTube interview that this therapist was doing. I want to. She was a woman of color therapist, maybe a black woman. I wasn't quite sure, and she was being interviewed by these guys, and she asked them, she said, do you know what the number one indicator is of whether a child will be a thriving adult? And they were like, oh, whether a father is in the house, or like how they're raised, this and that. And she was like, no, it is the happiness of the mother. The happiness of the mother, right? So if you're watching this and you're a woman of color and you're feeling like you need to sacrifice your self-care or yourself or your wellness for everyone else, you don't. When you are happy, everything and everyone around you will thrive. Okay, so if you take nothing else from this, please know that in order for you to thrive, you also need to take care of yourself. You should be in the integration. When we talk about balancing career and family, you also need to put in there your self care and your mental health. Okay. All right, you guys. I hope you found this so so helpful, and I hope you kind of learned something today. Let me know in the comments what was your favorite tip, your biggest takeaway. Let me know. I love to hear from you all. Usually, when I do kind of like these topics, and it's not around money, but more of like feelings and life and things like that, I get so many people in my inbox. So I would love to hear from you all. Let me know what was your biggest takeaway, and which tip you're going to use in your life. Have a wonderful night, you guys. And don't forget to go ahead and either DM me or put in the comments interview so I can give you the link to that pop-up workshop, How to Ace a Six-Figure Interview as a Woman of Color, that I'm going to be doing on Wednesday. Bye, you guys.